Hi, I'm Lee. I'm a New Zealander who lives in the East Riding of Yorkshire, and this is my podcast about my handmade life. You can find me on Ravelry as louleigh and Instagram as louleigh_. I am a purveyor of fine knitting bags and needle cases, and you can find me at Shop Louleigh on Etsy, or there are links to all of my online places at louleigh.com. Thank you for coming. It's been so nice to come back and chat to you again this week. I have had a horrendous cold, so this is not my normal coffee. This is a lemon tea thingamajig. I've not had a hot coffee for over a week, and so I've been feeling a bit less than awesome for a week now, and I feel like that should be enough. It should be over. But anyway, it's really nice to come back and to be spending a little bit of time to sit with you and to talk about knitting. So I actually have quite a lot of community news to talk about this week. The first thing is the Stash Appreciation Society, which is winding up at the end of the month, and this was a year-long challenge for us to look into our stash and really enjoy what's there. And I have to admit that being a bit more thoughtful about my stash has actually meant that it's changed a wee bit this year. It looks different and just more fun now, I think. I think maybe I've been a bit more thoughtful about what I've been putting into stash, and not stashing willy-nilly quite so much. My stash is still growing by, I think at last count it was about 5 kilos, which is not great. It's still on the up, but yeah, it's been a fun challenge, and it's really made me reassess what I want to have in my stash. So we had the monthly prize draw for the end of November, which was a couple of weeks ago now, and it was won by Hiki Thump. However, she had won, I think she'd won a prize for something else as well, and so she kindly said that I could redraw again. And so Mystery Sewer from Sandy from Canada was the winner of that prize, and Sandy has been really prolific in the Stash Appreciation Society finished objects thread, so it was nice to send out another pattern to you. And at the end of the year I'm going to have a special prize draw, and Debbie Reese got in touch with me, and she gifted me a copy of her Silent Snowfall socks, which has come out recently. You might have seen them on Instagram. And so I was putting together a little prize package to draw from the chatter thread for people that have just participated this year, and so that pattern will be part of the prize package. And also, the winner of that prize, which I'm going to draw at the end of the year, that would be useful information to know, so I'll probably draw it on New Year's Day, maybe New Year's Eve, one or the other. New Year's Day, I think, I'll do it then. The winner will also get, well, they won't get this one, they'll get one just like it, a bag from Craft House Magic. This is mine. We have also had the oldest along happening in the Ravelry group, which is about looking at your oldest stash and things that you've had in your passion queue for a long time that you might have the yarn for as well, and your oldest whips and that sort of thing. And I had been working on a pair of Blorange socks that I finished, and then I have a friend who is probably more in need of Blorange socks than I am at the moment, and so I thought they would make a lovely gift. And so I finished my socks made from the orange wool mice. I'm going to insert a picture here because I've already sent them off. The orange wool mice was the oldest yarn that I had in my stash, and then I supplemented it with the blue as well. And I was really pleased with the way they came out. I used my favourite socks pattern, and I have gifted them off to somebody who needs a bit more Blorange in their life. Also, last time I think I mentioned that I was going to extend the oldest along end date till the 31st of January. Oh, we should probably have another prize draw for that. If you'd like to donate a prize to the podcast, then please get in touch with me. Yeah, so that will carry on until the 31st of January because I have the next oldest yarn in my stash, and it's pattern adjacent. I know exactly what I want to knit with it now. Yeah, I'm thinking I'll cast that. I want to sort of like get my whips down a bit. There's quite a few things that are loitering about and have been for quite some time, so I'd like to finish some things. I think I'm going to finish everything between Christmas and New Year because, you know, everything's shut up, there's no work on, I'm taking some time off, so of course I can do all the things. But anyway, so the oldest along is extended until the 31st of January, so come and join in if you just want to get some of your oldest whips cracking along again. That would be good fun to have you over in the group. I was about to say and finally, but there's still more things happening in community news. There's Knit 1000 grams, and that is a challenge to knit a kilo of yarn before EYF on the 15th of March. And I am currently up to 561 grams. There's quite a few of you that have greater goals than 1000 grams, but I think a kilo is a nice target really over the period of time, and you could probably still do it in the next, you've got almost 3 months, yeah, about 3 months. So did I say that I'm up to 561 grams at the moment, which I'm quite pleased about. I worked out that if I finished off all of my whips then I could easily hit my target, so that would be a good aim. Yeah, and so when that closes I shall meander around the EYF Edinburgh Yarn Festival marketplace and pick up something lovely for somebody. That was good fun last year, I really enjoyed doing it. So yeah, I'm looking forward to doing it again this year as well. So the last time I spoke to you was about the Tiny Owls pattern collection which I had just released, which was really exciting. If you've already been and bought a copy, thank you so much, and some of you have already knitted yourself mittens and whatnot, which has been really good fun. We have a knit along going along. Yeah, we have a knit along going along for the Tiny Owls collection, and so if you're thinking of casting on one of the patterns, then come over to the louleigh Ravelry group and join us. I've decided that will run until the end of February just to stagger some of the things that we have going on in the group. Last time I spoke to you I had intended to cast on with these beauties. I'm not sure if I showed them to you or not, but I had been looking at different colourwork projects on the interwebs, on Instagram to be specific, and I had a little change of heart. I went through my stash yesterday and decided that I wanted to try doing it with a variegated yarn for the contrast colour. And I have this really pretty yarn that came as a mini from the Fawn and the Fox. Lara does such beautiful yarns, there's so much depth of colour, it's just stunning, and I'd kind of been saving it for special what, I have no idea, but anyway, so I decided that I would use this for the contrast colour, and then I'm going to put it with this lovely deep Bordeaux burgundy from the Travel Knitter, and I'm not sure if it's going to really, I hope it will look okay, but it's a bit of an experiment. If it doesn't work out I can always undo it and start them again with the yarn that I intended. So that's going to be really interesting. I've just cast on the smallest size, which is just a wee kid size. You can probably see it better if I hold it over there. There's not much to see, so I've just started casting on the cuff for that. So the pattern for this, the Tiny Owls mittens pattern, comes with 3 sizes, and we tested it in just using 4-ply fingering weight yarn, but because of the sort of the repeat of the Tiny Owl motif, the sizes are quite kind of disparate, far apart. There's quite a large increment between them, and so I also put in hand circumferences for some other, I think I put it in for maybe a DK stitch count stitch gauge and a sport weight stitch gauge. So hopefully you can try out some different weights of yarn and get the size of mitten that you actually want. I hope that's not confusing. We tested it using 4-ply and fingering, and so if you do, I'd be really interested if you are knitting in DK or sport weight to see how it turned out for you and if everything worked out okay. But I just thought it was useful to put those other stitch gauges in there just so that it would be a bit more flexible if you did want to go off piste. The other thing that I wanted to talk about was colour dominance in if you're new to stranded colour work. One of the test knitters, Fiona, hello, who was awesome and sent me some links to some really useful references on colour dominance when you're using 2 colours in your knitting. And what that means is that sometimes there's a technique for knitting 2-stranded colour work that will make one colour appear to pop forward and the other colour to recede. And so what I'm going to do is to link those 2 articles in the knit along thread, so if you are new to colourwork knitting you might find that useful and a good reference. So yeah, join in, come over to the group, we'd be happy to have you there. This episode is quite sock heavy, apart from Tiny Elle's mittens. There's more socks to come. This is the sock segment. So you would have seen a little while ago that I was working on, I had started a new tube that I was working on in the car, and I am using a sock blank that I'd got from Akara Yarns, and I got right to the other end of my sock blank. And I've started putting in the heels. So I've got a heel there, and I'm part way through a heel here. And this is a true afterthought heel, and I've been using the pattern by Laura Linneman for the actual heel construction. So yeah, and this is another mini that I got from the Fawn and the Fox, which I really liked. I have a sneaking suspicion this is her Earl Grey colourway, and frankly I'm quite taken with it. But yes, I had posted this on Instagram. If you follow me on Instagram you will have seen me there. So I'm using that this purplish colour for the heels, and then I have a pink that I'm going to put in for the toes. I think this is a Homespun House, one of Molly's yarns. Yeah, and I have a feeling that I might have enough for a pair of ankle socks as well. But I'll just see how I get on with that. So the last thing that I have been enjoying this month is this. This is my advent calendar, and I have been posting about this on Instagram stories. I think in terms of things for me, this is my favourite thing about Christmas, is my yarn advent calendar. This is a handmade one, so I have a lovely friend who spent a little while winding up tiny wee little balls of yarn, and this year she put them in this beautiful little sort of chest of drawers, which I open every day, and you can tell by the grid. I really enjoyed this. This definitely is one of my favourite Christmas traditions. This is the second time I've done it, so it's a tradition now. Yeah, and I've been working away on my advent socks, which are in my Christmas. I made these Christmas bags last year, and I really liked this one, so I kept one for myself. And of course we've been past the 12th, so I have finished the first sock. I decided this year that I would stripe it in with this grey, and some of the colours have sort of blended in with the grey a little bit, like that one there. But I'm really pleased with them. I think they look really great, and I'm so excited to wear them on Christmas Day. It's just, I really like opening the drawer every day and just seeing what yarn it is, and there's a little chocolate in there as well. And then taking some time at some point during the day just to knit that little stripe, and then the little contrast stripe, and then sometimes I just really badly want to open the next drawer. But yes, so that has been lots of fun. It's just a really nice way to start the day. And yeah, if you've never done it before, then try teaming up with a chum, and maybe you don't necessarily have to swap 24 minis. Maybe you can just throughout the year swap with people a few minis at a time, and you would build up enough to make an advent calendar for you to open yourself. Last year my advent calendar came, I don't have the bag here, it came in a special knitting bag, and all of the minis were in envelopes. Yeah, I need to do some mending. I wore last year's advent socks so much, and I just need to do some mending on them, so I'll have to get them out and do that job to make them wearable again. So yeah, so I've been enjoying that. And that today is the last thing that I have to talk to you about. It's been so much fun to come and chat with you, especially in the run up to Christmas. You know, you get tied up in the hurly-burly of it all, that it's just so nice to take a moment and come and chat with you. If this is your first time here, then I hope you've enjoyed yourself, and I hope you'll come and join us in the Ravelry group. It's always fun when you pop over there and introduce yourself. And if you'd like to come back again, then please subscribe, and I hope to see you again next week. Cheerio!